Welcome back to 405 Sports. Today we are talking about NFL teams and what they should do with their quarterback position. Bert or Colin, I will throw it to you. What should the Pittsburgh Steelers do?
Let the Steelers fans start it off.
Mason Rudolph.
Is that the answer?
I mean,
I know that's the short-term answer, but this is the last year of his contract, I believe.
we're not going to get anybody good in the draft. We're just not.
You,
By the time we get a draft pick, we're not there. I don't think there's going to be anybody that's better than what we have.
That's fair.
And I mean, they're probably going to stick with Kenny just to see. They have him on a leash. I don't know why. Everybody loves Kenny Pickett. He hasn't done one thing good, really. We had a 13% chance of making the playoffs this year going into the last 3 games, and now we're in the playoffs with Mason Rudolph as the starter for all 3 of those games.
Yeah,
So I don't really see a reason why he shouldn't be in talks for a number 1 spot, but everybody thinks that he's going to be right back to the backup spot.
I think Mason's done a really good job when he gets the opportunity. I just feel like, not that I agree with the decision, but I feel like they're going to give Kenny at least 1 more year just because he was they wasted a first-round pick on him.
Yep.
They might as well give him at
Sure
least.
did.
I'm not sure he'll finish next season, but I think they'll at least let him start and see if he can kind of get something started finally.
What's crazy is I've never even thought Kenny Pickett was that good.
I've never liked Kenny Pickett.
I've never
but-
I get like the Steelers are winning games with Mason Rudolph and stuff like that, and he's done a good job of not trying to do too much. Just stay with the game plan and just give whatever or take whatever the defense is giving him. God, it's so hard to do we know what draft pick they have?
No. After they lose first round of the Bills, they'll have
All right.
about 20.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I know. There's just not going to be.
You would almost have to
Anybody
trade
worth
for a
taking.
quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get a rookie quarterback by any means.
No, I don't think
on
you
the
even
off
need to.
chance they do decide to get rid of Kenny, which they won't.
We won't get rid of him.
And
He'll still be there. It
yeah,
just depends
I
on
just
who's
mean-
starting. Now, Mitch has got to.
Mitch has
Even
got
Mike
to go.
Tomlin knows he's
And-
not good.
I'm afraid that they're not going to re-sign Mason. I think they should because he's a good backup and he knows his role. He
Hey,
plays his role really well.
Got them to the playoffs.
Yeah, but any quarterback. The Steelers are such a good of a franchise as a whole that they don't really need a stud quarterback. And Big Ben was there forever. He was a
Obviously,
stud.
I mean, yeah, but
I just mean Mike Tomlins had a winning season.
our
for
other
He's
2
a damn good
quarterbacks weren't
coach.
God
good.
knows how many years in
Yeah.
a row.
Yeah.
So I feel like they can manage with a serviceable anybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like Kenny can get them through at least the rest of Kenny's contract and then be, half competitive.
Yeah. I think at worst, what they should do is just stick with Kenny for next season, and then if he's absolutely terrible, just go to Mason Rudolph
Yeah.
again. If they end up signing him again,
Yeah. And I know you're going to hate that, but I kind of agree. I think they're going to give Kenny
I
one
know
more
it's
year.
what's going to happen.
yeah,
But
But-
just if Mason is not at least the second string,
No, Trubisky should be
No,
done.
Something's wrong.
Trubisky
He's
is
terrible.
absolutely
and if
terrible.
we go sign another quarterback and make them the second string and move Mason to third string again, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about Russell Wilson going to the Steelers. I might kill myself.
See, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world.
He just doesn't fit.
I think he's better than Kenny Pickett.
He's
Oh,
better
he's
than
100%
Kenny.
better than Kenny Pickett, but he just doesn't fit. And he's on the decline.
Yeah,
Why would we not get somebody who has a lot more chance of going up?
Broncos country,
That's right.
nation.
Yeah, if he says some stupid shit in his first interview again, then we know it's the end of the season
Just
already.
cut him right after the interview.
Yep.
No, you're done, big dog.
Steeler Nation? That's right. Yep, you're done. Get out of here.
Yeah. Second team we're going to talk about is the Falcons. Right now, they're rocking with Ritter sometimes, every now and then, which Arthur Smith got fired. But Arthur Smith would pull him, put in Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke would come and look like a stud for a little bit, win him a game, and then they'd throw Desmond Ritter right back in there. What I think they should do is, I'm not sure how easy it'd be for them per se, but I've seen a bunch of rumors online about it. trading for somebody like a Justin Fields, maybe a Russell Wilson if you really wanted to. Don't like that one as much as Justin Fields though. But I feel like if they can get Justin Fields, who I think is above average. Like I feel like if you get him in the right system, especially with the weapons that the Falcons have, that they can be really, really good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's kind of hit or miss with Justin Fields for me. Like he's shown like glimpses of like really good football, and then he's also been terrible. But is that like you said, is that the system that they're in? Is that like him not having like any good offensive players whatsoever? If I were the Falcons, I would either, like we said, trade for Justin Fields or just stick with Ritter and see if he gets better because he's still really young.
Yeah, he's year 2, I believe.
Yeah, year 2.
I believe.
Yeah,
2 or 3.
So, anyways, it's tough to say, but you have to stick with one. I think it kills your any sort of rhythm, like what you're saying, switching back and forth between Heineke and Ritter. You can't do that. Which they fired Arthur Smith, like we said. So
Arthur Smith was terrible.
yeah, so that could help a lot, but
So,
maybe
does that mean
even
Mike Gundy needs to be fired.
No.
maybe even hire Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel would be a good pickup, but no. You got anything on that one?
I think there's just something in the air in Chicago that makes bad football teams.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I think if Justin Fields goes somewhere else, then he has a lot better chance of actually playing good.
We can just kick it to Chicago. As we're talking about Justin Fields anyways.
There's
but
no help. They're never coming back.
So the Bears got the number 1 pick. Obviously, Caleb Williams, Drake May, they're sitting there.
Yeah.
A lot of people think they're going to be, cornerstone pieces, franchise players for a long time. Bears got a really hard decision. Do they want to stick with their guns, stay with Justin Fields, kind of stay with what's not stay with what's working, but stay with what they know and what they kind of got with the guy right now. Or they want to go take a risk on a new guy who should be really, really good, but could also be not
The same thing.
Yeah, not be all that. And the other Bears, so they'll probably screw it up somewhere.
Yeah, if I were the Bears, I would probably just go ahead and draft Caleb Williams or whoever the first pick may be. Obviously a quarterback. And then I guess are they willing to trade Justin Fields?
They haven't said a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
that I've seen. I don't know. After the game Sunday, Justin Fields was talking like it might have been his last game. Like he said something about how he will always be at home in Chicago. So something around those lines. That's wrong, but something about that.
I feel like there's a lot of frustration with the fan base and Justin Fields, and
I feel like the fan base is getting more used to Justin, and they're kind of on the idea that they kind of like him. But there's also a part of it that it's Caleb Williams. We don't want to miss the opportunity.
That could be.
What I said in a previous video, but I'll re-say it. I think they should draft Caleb, stash him a year. If Justin keeps going on that uphill kind of trajectory he's on, stick with him either, and then trade Caleb because he's still Caleb Williams. Someone's gonna want him.
Mm-hmm.
Or if Justin just isn't doing what you want him to do, trade Justin because you can get a lot for Justin still anyways.
Yeah, I would say probably the best option would be to trade Justin Fields, see what you can get from him, and then bring in Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
If they drafted Caleb Williams and kept him on the bench for a whole year, I feel like that would just kind of waste his.
Yeah.
Because there's not really much. It's not like
He needs to go somewhere and be the quarterback now.
But there's a lot of quarterbacks who have had really good long careers that didn't play the first year or two. His boy, Aaron didn't play. Tom didn't play. So it's...
Yeah, but I don't see Caleb Williams
They
playing
also...
until he's 40 years old.
Yeah,
their mentors weren't Justin Fields.
yeah,
Their
the
mentors
guys
were
they
Brett
played
Favre.
behind didn't... Yeah, they weren't bums. Not that Drew Bledsoe was that good, but I digress. Vikings. What do we think? So Kirk Cousins got hurt this year, didn't finish the year. They got in Josh Dobbs. That didn't work. Then it was Nick Mullins and
Bryce Hall. Hall.
no.
Sam, who's the fourth string quarterback for the Vikings? Who?
Jaron Hall.
I said Hall.
It
You
was
said
Hall.
Bryce Hall.
You said Bryce Hall. He's a TikToker. But yeah.
There's a Bryce Hall on the Jets, to be fair.
So they got those. They had those 4 guys. None of them really got it to that next level that the rest of the roster is kind of built to go to. Kirk's on the last year of his deal, I believe.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd almost stick with Kirk Cousins.
See, I
And
don't.
I don't like
He was
Kirk
doing
Cousins.
good when he was there.
I don't
can't
hate Kirk
stand-
that much.
I can't stand Kirk Cousins.
I don't hate Kirk that much either. I think they should re-sign Kirk and stick with him.
Well, they were really good 2 years ago.
You gotta have somebody who can throw it to Justin
Right.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
If you can't throw it to that guy, then you just are lost.
Yeah.
You're lost.
I would almost just see what happens with Kirk next year. Try to keep him healthy. Getting
Yeah.
kind of old.
He is getting up there. But I mean, they got enough weapons on offense. They got
Just throw it up to Justin.
They got Jefferson, Addison. I mean, Hawkinson had the ACL thing, but so he'll be out for a little bit to start the next year, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe he's back. Maybe it's quick.
He needs to go hang out wherever Aaron went.
Yeah, he needs to go wherever. Well,
Dark
Which
Rims.
is- Yep.
yeah, go sit in solitude for a couple of months.
But they've got a pretty good defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good roster apart from, the most important position.
I think they
So,
just kind of got messed up. I mean, it's tough to go 4 quarterbacks
Yeah.
deep.
And at least this year, their division, other than the other than the Lions, wasn't exactly the greatest.
Right.
And I don't think it'll be the greatest next year either. So I feel like they got a chance to do something in that division.
At least a wild card.
Yeah, so I'd just stick with who you kind of got now. Unless if he wants an outrageous contract, that's a different story. But
Never know with him.
last team is the Raiders. Jimmy G sucks. Aiden O'Connell sucks.
Just burn the whole franchise.
Yeah, just sell the team. So the Raiders have the 13th pick.
Jimmy G will be starting next year.
See, if they start Jimmy G, that's terrible. I think they're either going to end up trading for a guy or they're going to get like a Penix, a Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I doubt Jaden Daniels falls, but maybe Jaden
You
Daniels.
think Michael Penix goes all the way to 13?
I've seen Penix at 8, so.
Exactly. That's not 13.
I know, I just mean I've also seen him in the second round.
There's plenty of options this year, though, at quarterback.
There's at least 5 guys, if you count JJ McCarthy 6,
Oh,
who
God.
are, first round picks,
Forgot about him.
quote unquote.
Do not draft J.J. McCarthy. You'll be in the same spot you are.
Yeah, so they got options. I think they should draft either Penix or Bo Nix, whichever one's sitting there. If they can, if not, try and trade for a guy because not that you don't really need a guy now. So if you sign a guy, I wouldn't necessarily make it like a
They're
guy
not
that's
really-
good now that
They're
can
not really
grow
fighting.
with. Yeah, their rosters
I never,
as a whole.
I never
isn't
understood the Jimmy G trade though, from the beginning.
Yeah, you traded Derek Carr for Jimmy G.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, they're like carbon copies.
But there's no way you should have a guy like Devontae Adams on the team and he'd be performing that
Yeah.
low. Like,
Josh
it's not his
Jacobs led
fault.
the league in all-purpose yards last year.
Yeah.
I think. I'm probably lying. But he
But
had
anyways,
2,000 all-purpose yards.
you have
last year.
like a top 3 receiver on your team,
Yeah.
and his production levels are so low because
So,
you just
I
don't have
mean-
a quarterback that can even get it to it.
They have a couple pieces. They should be better than they are. I don't think that even if they got a good quarterback, I don't think that's going to make them like instantly a contender by any means. The interim coach right now, he's a stud.
Yeah.
Really like him. I think they should stick with him. And then the quarterback's so hard.
Just draft a
I
quarterback.
think just draft a guy, let him kind of grow.
I almost think Bo Nix over Penix, but
I think I think
Either
it's a
way.
coin toss whoever they still got.
it's
at
probably
13.
very similar outcomes.
Yeah.
They've been bad for long enough, and they don't really need to be good anytime soon. They can just ride out the wave of being terrible.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't. Even if they somehow got like a Russell Wilson, which they're not going to. Who Russell Wilson is a manageable quarterback. I don't think that's going to make him anywhere near like a contender by any means. So I mean, signing a guy to me is dumb.
No, they just need to try to rebuild and go from there. Start with a fresh rookie quarterback.
They need to trade Adams too. Now that I talk,
Yeah,
now that I
they
talk
do.
about it, but,
Try to get some picks from Adams or
yeah.
I don't really
Ooh,
think
they
even
could
wanna-
trade Adams to Jets and get Zach Wilson in like 5 first-round picks.
I would love Adams to the Jets, by the way.
Yeah, I mean that's not gonna happen.
No. There have been a little bit of talks of it, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, but theirs is to me theirs is like the one that they're kind of screwed no matter what they do. The other teams that we've talked about kind of have a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
The Raiders are the Raiders.
Raiders will always be the Raiders.
Yeah, can't do much about that one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what these teams should do at their quarterback position.